Hello, everybody. We are so
Hello.
excited to be here with you today. We're going to start with a question, and I actually am going to ask Stephanie the question today. So, Stephanie, I'm curious for you, what is a song that you connect with? Very open-ended.
It is, but I love open-ended because you can go a lot of directions with it. Oh, song I connect with. I mean, there are so many songs that I don't even know where to start, but I'll go with the one that first came to mind, which is one I have loved for like over 10 to 15 years. It's a classical and jazz piano piece. It's Rhapsody in Blue, the original solo piano version by George Gershwin. And I don't know, I love George Gershwin because he combines classical and jazz elements, which is my absolute favorite. I think that, as a small child, I watched Fantasia, and there was this opening scene in New York where they created this amazing like cartoon where Rhapsody in Blue was being played, and that was like when I first heard the song, and I was like, as like a 12-year-old or something, I was like, I love this song. I want to learn it someday. And I forgot actually about that until just like thinking about, it right now. And I just have always connected with the nature of the piece. It's playful, it's sad, it's nostalgic. And again, like I said before, my favorite part about all of it is that it combines genres, which was not common during that period. It was written in the early 1900s, and George Gershwin was doing something that most people weren't really doing at that time, which was combining those genres together. And so, yeah, I've loved performing it. I played it for my graduate recital, and I also played the concerto version in my undergraduate degree. And it just is a piece that brings me to life when I play it and when I hear it. And I know everybody associates it with the United Airlines song, but it was a popular song long before that, and it's just so beautiful and so wonderful. That beginning part, it's just like it just makes my heart melt every time. So yeah, I guess the first song that came to mind was Rhapsody in Blue solo piano version. And God, though, I mean, there's so many songs. I love every genre of music. Literally, when I look at my Spotify, I have every possible genre imaginable, and usually minus heavy metal or hard rock or anything like that. But actually, that's changed because I started playing in a group where we do covers. And at the last show we played, we did a Nirvana song and a Metallica song. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be playing Enter Sandman, but I did. It was crazy. So it was really fun, and I just feel like every song represents something different to me. Like I have Nicki Minaj, I have country, like Keith Urban. I am shameless when it comes to Chumbawamba. I don't give a shit. I listen to everything, and I just think that that's what makes beautiful music is combining our genres and not worrying about what's cool and what's not, and really living into what I like and what I connect to in the moment, which literally changes all the time. So that was a little bit of a derailing, but I guess I just want to say that like I listen to every possible genre of music, and I felt compelled to talk about a piano piece because that's something that I studied in school, but literally I listen to everything and I connect a little bit differently with every tune I hear. So, yeah. What about you, Ashley?
Nice. I love that. And I think that's a great piece. I don't always think of United Airlines when I hear Rhapsody in Blue, but when I'm like on a United flight and it comes on, I'm like, stop it. Don't use it. Because I agree. I love it. It's such a beautiful piece. But anywho, okay, so the thing that popped into my mind, I have, well, I have Brandy Carlisle on my mind. I always have her on my mind because she's one of my favorite artists. But I was lucky enough a couple weeks ago to go to her concert in Los Angeles. She played at the Greek, and shout out to Victoria who got me tickets, or got us tickets. But anyway, one of her songs I've been listening to on repeat probably for about a year, and it's a really great song. And for me, I am like you, Stephanie. Like I like every single genre, and there are like great artists exist across the board. It doesn't matter what genre it is. I think that great music like breaks barriers, of genres. And so regardless of the genre, I can name a musician or a song at least that I like from that genre. And to me, one of the coolest things is when someone has like the trifecta, where it's like they have like amazing music, so like the instrumentation and the instruments are beautiful, when they have a really cool voice, so when I connect with the sound of their voice, and also when the lyrics are really like deeply poetic. And so I think that Brandy Carlisle has that, and one of the songs that I'm really a fan of is called The Eye, and the chorus of the song is, you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye. Um, and I love that. And every time I hear that, it makes me feel so many things, because it's so true. And I think you can, like, one of the great things about great songs is you can take the words and apply them to so many different situations, and you can connect to them in different ways. And I guess that's true of music in general, regardless of if it has words, it's going to mean something different to every person. But just that idea that you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you're standing in the eye. To me, that means like you can find joy in everything, but only if you're really in it, if you're really there. And if you're standing in the eye of a hurricane, arguably you're in like the most and least dangerous parts at the same time. And I think that's just such an amazing poetic picture of like some of those contrasts in life. And I think that we have to show up for the really difficult things in order to experience the really, really, really great joys. It's kind of mandatory, right? Because if we try to dampen the darkness, we also dampen the light. And I think this is kind of a silly analogy, but it's kind of how I think of expressing ourselves with music too. It's like, everything can't be forte or loud all the time. Everything can't be piano or quiet all the time. We have to really explore the full range of contrast in whatever we're doing. And that's often where we'll find all the humanness, I guess, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So,
I love that balance, right? It's like you have to have both. That's a beautiful poetic lyric, and I'm gonna go listen to that song after this podcast.
yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about the trifecta too. Is like, you said lyrics,
Music
cool voice, good
and voice.
music. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I like that you said cool voice because there's so many different types of voices, and I love that word in replacement of maybe some other descriptors you could have used. I think, yeah, if you connect to the voice, which is just like your human essence, like
Yeah.
that makes a voice interesting to me, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be anything like we might expect. I love the more unique sounds, and I think
Yeah.
that was just like a cool kind of trifecta. And I liked the words that you used around that too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I try to avoid, with all things, but especially with music, like labels like good or bad, or like it's not even true of what I'm trying to say, because I think really all that matters with those three things is that you connect to them, or I connect to them if I like the musician. And that can mean so many different things. There are musicians
Yeah.
that have never had a formal lesson in their lives that are doing things that I could never dream of doing. And vice versa. And yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I would be curious to know from the listeners, or from the people watching, what are some songs that you connect with? What are, any genre, any kind, but we would love to hear from you. What are songs you connect with? You could share with us on social media, or reach out to us via our website. We would love to hear from you and love to get to know you. And we have some, uh, we're going to do some talking here in a little bit, Stephanie and I, not on the podcast, but about our membership that we have, where you can learn how to play the piano, connect with an awesome community, and you can check that out on our website as well. We would love to see you there. All right.
Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
one. See you
Talk to you
later.
soon. Bye.